Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is Life.W.Lindsay. Today, we have a WIP Chat for you, but if you're new here, hi. Welcome. My name is Lindsay. I do mainly diamond painting and some other crafting-related content, and I would love for you to like, subscribe, hit the bell, hop aboard the Hot Mess Express. Let's all be friends. If you've been here before, hi, welcome. Thanks for coming back. If you do not know what a WIP Chat is, that is when I work on my current WIP, WIP, which is work in progress. This is Take Me Out Taiyaki from Diamond Artisan Shop. If you'd like to see the unboxing for this, I will link that up in the eye. And you can work on whatever it is that you are working on. It can be another craft project. It can be a household project. It can be while you are driving, while you're working, while you're doing household chores, while you're pretending to work. Whatever it is you want to be doing. There is no right way or wrong way to WIP and chat. A lot of people use this as like a podcast in the background, if you will. More audio than visual, but feel free to look up and see what I'm working on. This is the first time I have recorded in a couple of weeks, which is insane to say that out loud. I have just not been in my craft space, and I have just been so all over the place, and I am realizing how difficult it is to maintain my regular quote-unquote everyday life stuff when your kid is not in school and doesn't have a daily routine the way they used to. So this video is not going to be like specifically about like what I did last week, where most of my WIP and chats are really that. I'm just kind of going to be chatting with you guys and like let you know what's going on and things like that. I was taken out by a real nasty, I believe it was a sinus infection. Like my whole face swelled up, it was awful, you guys. And then you pair that with the fact that my kid's schedule is like all over the place, and it's also hot. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be on the third floor of my house when it's, 95 degrees outside and, heat rises. So it's hot up here. I have a small little chunk of time right now, which is why I'm coming to record this. I have some content coming up for you guys. I have an unboxing. I actually was going to set that to go live July 1st, but I forgot to schedule it, and then it got too late in the day for me to put it up, so that'll be up later. I am going to be doing a kit for DP holiday in July when I am done this one. I have some amazing kits to share with you from Diamond Painting Shop. You guys, I am just so excited. But I do want to apologize for, basically disappearing. And I also want to say, in like, without sounding like a total a-hole, like, it's probably going to be like that back until my kid's back in school. I hate to be like, it is what it is, but it is what it is. I am doing the absolute best that I can here, and it's just been, like, it's chaos, you guys. So normally when my kid goes to school, I can get things done during the day. For those who don't know, I have a, she recently completed kindergarten, so I have a rising first grader, but she was only in school half day. So I'd have that small chunk of window while she was in school to get all of my recording done, to get all of my errands done, all those things. Well, now she's not in school, so anytime I need to get anything done, she is there right with me, which makes things much more time consuming, if you could imagine. And I love my kiddo, and I love spending time with her, but like sometimes I just want to go to the supermarket and get what I need to get without 52 questions about anything at all. Also, like, shout out to my local market. You guys definitely need to do better. You guys, so Briar wanted steak with mango salsa for dinner the other night. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a chimichurri, which if you've never made chimichurri, it is super easy as long as you have a blender or, something that can blend things up. And I usually get this mango salsa right in the refrigerated section from my market. The mango salsa was out. There were no more bell peppers. There were no shallots. There was other colored bell peppers. They didn't have the red ones. And I wasn't about to... If you guys have ever prepared mangoes, they're a pain in the butt. You have to like get them from the skin, then you have to get the weird pit in the middle out, and then you have to cut them and slice them. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just spend the money and buy the pre-cut chunks. Everything that I have is just going to go into my chopper. So I buy that, which now costs more than the container of mango salsa in the first place. But then I had to buy all the ingredients and actually make it. Now, granted, it was very good. The mango was not very sweet, which was a bit disappointing, but it worked. And it was a good meal, and my kiddo ate very well. Steaks were a good price at the market, which I was shocked by. I just picked up a couple sirloins. Nothing like super fancy. But there's nothing more disappointing than being like, okay, I have to make a quick run to the errand. A quick errand to the market to grab something, and they don't have what you want, and then they don't have all the ingredients you need to replace said item. And I did not want to take her on yet another like journey elsewhere. You guys, please tell me I'm not the only one who you're like, I'm done. You know what I mean? Like I guess that's more disappointing doing it in person like that and having that issue than when you go and do like a grocery order and they just replace it with something else. I don't know. Anyway, it's a long rant. But my child has rejected like regular sleep routine, which I know is pretty normal. It's not very helpful because as much as I love like getting to sleep in, when she's not going to bed until like the other night, you guys, no lie, it was 12:14 in the morning. Like after midnight, 14 minutes after midnight. And I hear like this chattering happening in her room, and I pull up the camera and I'm like, Bert, are you... It is like hours after your bedtime. And she's like, oh, sorry, mommy. Girl, what are you doing? Why are you having a party in your room? The new thing, you guys. Okay. So I don't even know what I've talked to you guys about and what I haven't because it's been so long. I know I told you guys about our trip to, for her graduation. I don't know if I've done a video since then or not. Did I? I don't know. So I may be repeating myself at some point. But anyway, she got her American Girl dolls. And we have since picked up a doll closet from Facebook Marketplace. And so the layout of her room, she has a bedroom, and then she has a Jack and Jill bathroom, which if you don't know what that is, it's a bathroom that connects, it's like one long hallway, and it connects two bedrooms. So in her bathroom, there is like a pocket door, and it has like a toilet and a toilet and a shower and a bathtub. And then it has a vanity that has two sinks, because if you had somebody in the other bedroom, ideally both people would be sharing the Jack and Jill bathroom. So what she's been doing is she's been getting up and turning the light on in the bathroom and sitting on the floor playing at the doll closet like hours after she's gone to bed, and thinking that I won't notice because the bedroom light isn't on. But your girl is singing and chatting and having full-on conversations, and I'm like, I can hear you. And then she's always like, oh, sorry, mommy, but then does it again. So that's been the fun new thing right now. I mean, I love that she loves her babies, and I love that she loves creative play, but I don't love it like, 3 hours after bedtime or in the middle of the night. So because of that, she's been sleeping in later, which typically is not a big deal. If I have something to do, obviously earlier in the day, then I have to wake her up, and there it goes. So the way our schedule has worked for the last year has been, or more than the last year, I guess, has been she goes to school, and then she has a nap, basically like 1:30 to 3:30. Now, for all of those that are going, oh my God, your kindergartner naps? Absolutely not. But it is her quiet time, which is also not usually quiet. But it's her time in her room. She can play, she can hang out, she can do whatever she wants. She can listen to her music, she can play with her babies, she can have like a full-on dance party. I don't care. It's her time, her like time for herself. And then I get to do things during that time. So sometimes that means me making like stuff for food, or me getting to craft, or me taking a nap because I have the world's worst sleep schedule, which is a whole other story. So because we've been doing a lot of activities later in the day, we're just not getting to that point anymore. Or we're like still out and about doing things and it's already deep into her nap time. So now, if you hear, can you guys hear her? She's singing her Taylor Swift. Anyway, so I've not been having a lot of time in the middle of the day anymore over her nap time to diamond paint, record, relax, whatever. And if I have been having time, I've been doing something else. In the meantime, I am planning a vacation, which I cannot wait to share the details with you guys. I know I had asked you guys a while ago if you had any vacation ideas for my kiddo and I. I'm actually going to be taking her to Chicago. And it's quickly approaching. But I have never been to Chicago. I have never traveled as the lead adult. Like, I've traveled as an adult, but like the last time I was in an airplane, I was with my husband. The time before that, I was with my parents. Like, I haven't just traveled alone or as the person in charge of everyone else. Not that my husband is in charge of me. Just let's preface that by, because I know that that's how that sounded. So I've got a lot going on, and you guys, it feels so overwhelming. I feel like I was one of those moms that's going to be like, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then summer happened and I'm like, it's hot. It's gross. I don't want to do any of that. My daughter has decided she likes roller skating all of a sudden. Okay, so we went, if you guys have been around for a little bit, you've heard me talk about, how much I adore our hairdresser. She came and supported my kiddo in her skate show. We've gone to her charity hockey games. She's just an absolute like gem of a human being, and I absolutely adore her, both personally and professionally. I think she's incredibly talented, and I think she's just got like this beautiful soul. And I had posted on my personal Facebook the one day about my kid wanted to learn how to go roller skating. If you guys don't know, my kiddo has been figure skating for 3 years now. So I assumed this was something she'd pick up fairly quickly because she has the skills of the balance and all that already, even though it's, you know, slightly different. It's roller skates or roller blades versus ice skates. But she messaged me and she's like, girl, I'll take her. So we all went. I did not get on skates because if you remember, I fell a year and a half ago when I went ice skating with her, hurt my tailbone. Pretty sure I broke my tailbone and I'm still in pain. So, you know, I'm good. I'm good at this time in my life. I don't need to risk it. I don't need to hurt myself again. And I have people in my life that were clearly very willing to do it for me. So we went with her and her family. So it was her fiance, her son, who's older than my daughter, and then her daughter, who's like 2. And Briar wanted a pair of rollerblades, so we asked for rollerblades. It only took her a few minutes she got around the rink the first time, like on the wall, and I think she just needed to figure out how to move her body on ground versus ice, because she was trying to do I don't want to say a move. She was trying to skate the way she does on ice, and it didn't fully translate. But she had the balance there, and she did pretty good, and she loved it. So then, of course, it turned into, Mommy, I want my own roller skates. Oh, of course you do. Why wouldn't you want your own roller skates? So turns out my kiddo has really, really, really tiny feet. Now, I've always known she's had small feet. It's one of the things I love about, like, the fact that her ice skates are still toddler sizes at 6.5. So that saves me a lot of money. But what I didn't think is that the smaller size roller skates and rollerblades that I could find, they really weren't like, they were more like training. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen, there's like roller skates that have like training wheels, basically. It's very weird. But I bought her a pair from Walmart, and they were adjustable size 12 to 2. She's smaller than a 12. But according to the street size shoes, she's not that far off from a 12. So I was like, all right, we'll try it. Yeah, she is way, way, way off from that. As small as it went, there was a good 2 inches between her and the front of the skate. And I was like, yeah, this is not going to work. So then I went to Amazon and I scoured and I found one that was size 10 to 12 or 10 to 13, something like that. They're adjustable. And I picked them up and I put them on the smallest size and she still has room. So I don't know who's like making the size charts, or I don't know if my kid's foot has just not been measured properly in a very long time, but I was able to get her a pair. And so she's excited because she can like cruise the neighborhood now. So I have to find, I would like to find, I should say, like a basketball court. Couldn't think of the word, sorry. I just saw a drill with a hole in it. And that way she can be somewhere that's a completely flat surface. And do it on her, not on her own, obviously I'd be there. But I'm excited. She wanted this to be the summer of riding her bike, but that has not happened. She also doesn't understand, like, you have to really pedal. You can't just kind of, like, cruise. You have to actually build up speed in order for a bike to stay up on its own. And, you know, if it doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out. But, she's excited. We actually took the roller skates for a ride in the neighborhood the other day. And as we were going down the street, there was a house, a couple houses down from us, that they have 2 boys. If I had to guess, the one was about 2 years older than Briar, and the other one was probably 2 years younger than Briar. And they were selling lemonade. But it was free. So they weren't selling anything. It was free lemonade, but they did accept tips. Well, I'm out here, like, you know, I'm just with my kid who's rollerblading. So I was like, yeah, well, when we get back to the house, we'll grab some money for tips. And they were like, oh, thank you so much. So we come back around and the mom is out there with the boys and she's like, you really don't have to. It's okay. And I was like, no. Like, your boys are out here working hard. We're going to give them a tip. And it was so sweet. And they were so excited to have their little lemonade stand. And like, we don't live in like a big neighborhood. And you know, like, I've lived in developments where you, like, know all your neighbors and you talk, I don't get that feeling from, I'm sure there are some people in our neighborhood that are like that, but most people aren't. So I hope that they actually had more than, like, a couple people stop by. I really hope for their sake they had a decent turnout. But it was so sweet, and, of course, my kid's like, can I have a lemonade stand? So, but she was excited to bust out her roller skates, and these ones did fit her. She did pretty good in the neighborhood. You know, she obviously doesn't want to fall on concrete. But we did get her pads and stuff like that. And so she was just really, really excited. And, I think depending on what the weather's like tomorrow, I might actually look up and see if there's like a close by basketball court, and take her during the day. The other thing is, like, the 1 week she was skating, ice skating every single day. And public skate it runs during her nap time. So, like, I'm just slowly accepting the fact that most days we're not going to have this nap time, which is fine for her. You know, like, she doesn't care. But for me, that was, like, my little chunk of time where I had time to myself. And then what happens is, in the evening, when I have time to myself after she's gone to bed, but clearly not gone to sleep, I have no desire to come up here and try to get a whole day's worth of work in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm worn out, And because I'm also dealing with this trip, there has been, I don't even know how many errands I've had to run. We have gone and looked at suitcases. We have gone and looked at tracking devices, at smartwatches, at a new backpack, just little things. So I love, and I'm sure you guys have seen them if you're on social media, there'll be like these like family, like how to pack for a family. Oh, the packing cubes. Oh, the this. Oh, the that. All these things. They're all amazing. And I saw one video and it was like, watch us pack our family of 4 in one suitcase. Well, I don't know if you guys have ever seen my husband. If you guys have not seen my husband, he's a very large man. He is 6'4". He wears a size 15 shoe. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if it is a carry-on, a duffel bag, an overnight bag, a large suitcase. His shoes take up so much room. Now, he's not going on this trip. It's just going to be Briar and I. So I didn't want to have to check a bag. So we don't own any really small suitcases because, like, no lie, one of those carry-on suitcases, if I put a pair of shoes in for him, then there's almost no room left for anything else. And I can't always assume that you're going to just have one pair of shoes with you on a trip. And if you do, great. But also, because my husband is a larger person, and so am I. I'm larger this way, not this way. But my clothing takes up more room than my daughter's because she's tiny and I'm not. And so I just opted to get a suitcase. Well, we went to Target, which we went to Target for something else, but I was like, let me look at their suitcases. So I found a suitcase, and if you guys are like well-traveled people, please tell me, please give me your advice here, because I'm looking at what the carry-on size bag limitations are. And I'm seeing bags that, okay, how do I say this? Like, why is it not universal per airline? Why is it not every airline has the same size limitation and then luggage companies make them to that? Because I would find ones that would be like fine on the length of the suitcase, but then it's like an inch taller than the height allowed or the depth allowed. But also, like, they don't take into consideration the wheels. And I'm like, I don't want to get there and then this suitcase not fit. And then I now have to check the bag because that defeats the whole purpose. We're going on a trip for 4 days. And I really don't want to have to check the bag. I don't want to have to deal with going through baggage claim. I don't want to have to deal with any of that. I just want to be able to get my bag, get off the plane, and then go to our hotel and go explore and have a good time. I don't want all this extra time. So I don't know the exact parameters of the suitcase we just picked up the other day. So now I have to measure that, although it's in the trunk of the car. My husband has the car right now, so he's going to need to bring that in. But anyway, I found one that was under the size parameters for the specific airline I'm flying on. And I looked in the reviews, because it had very like wishy-washy reviews. And the very first one was for the same airline, and it said, this bag does not fit. And I was like, what? I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy it then. And I'd rather buy a bag that's slightly too small and just make it work. But I went to TJ Maxx, Marshalls, one of them, I think it was TJ Maxx. And I grabbed a bag. Unfortunately, that specific bag didn't have all of the dimensions. I'm just super annoyed because I don't want to spend a lot of money, but I also don't want to end up having to check the bags. And then my friend said to me, why don't you have 2 bags, one for you, one for her? And I was like, are you serious? You want me to carry her through the airport, carry her luggage and my luggage? I'm like, no. My kid has a tendency to like try to escape. And that's not going to be happening with 2 suitcases and a small child. But then I also had to get a new purse. Ugh, you guys, I feel like I'm complaining. I am complaining, but I feel like I'm complaining an excessive amount. It's just one of those things that, like, everything is taking so much longer because I have to take Briar to go with me. And right now is my husband's busy season at work, so, like yesterday, for example, he did have a day off, and, was it yesterday? Whatever day it was. And he's like, well, we can go run these errands if you want. And I'm like, okay. And then he's like, well, we're not going to be back in time for her nap. And I was like, yeah, I know. Like, I don't think he's realizing that, like, nap time just ceases to exist when there's other things that have to happen. But I'm realizing, and it's because of my crappy sleep schedule, you guys. Like, when I tell you, I wake up early because of her, and I go to bed late because I want to get things done, or I want to just doom scroll, or I want to relax, or whatever. But I've been having these couple times where I crash, and then I wake up in the middle of the night, and now my body thinks, oh, well, bitch, you just slept for 3 hours, 4 hours, you're good to go. So then I can't fall back asleep until like an hour before I have to wake up for the day. So my sleep is super disjointed. Like, I don't ever get like 8 straight hours of sleep, which is great, which is super great. But it's particularly an issue when you don't have that possibility to catch up in the middle of the day like you have been. So I'm just, without trying to sound like ungrateful, I'm stressed out. I'm overwhelmed. I mean, listen, if you guys have been here, you know me. I'm always stressed out and overwhelmed and living in a constant state of anxiety. But I also, like, have to keep the tiny human alive and busy and occupied and all these things. On top of the already ice skating 3 days a week, more if we pick up public skating. And then, again, public skating takes right into the sleep time. But my kiddo has had 1 week of camp so far, which she loved. It was zoo camp. We've done it before. I think it's actually, like, her favorite thing to do. They have like I don't know if it's winter break or spring break program. It's like a 1-day thing that they do also. And she did, and she loved it. But it was really, really cool. And then this year, I don't know if it's because she's not in like the preschool group anymore, but this year they did Monday through Thursday was either your half day or full day, depending on your kid. We did half day. And then Friday was at night. Now, we didn't know what to expect for the at night because we didn't know if we were like going into the classroom or what. And we couldn't actually do it the week of her camp because we actually had other plans. And so they let us do it the following week, which was super nice. But it just happened to be that it was like 97 degrees that day. And even at night, there's nothing worse. If you live in like a state like Arizona, like, you probably have no sympathy for me, but I don't. I live in Pennsylvania, okay? It should not still be in the 90s at 8 o'clock at night. It should not be. It is too hot. I don't like it. So we ended up going the following week, which was really sweet. And she got to show us around the zoo, and showed us some of her favorite animals. And this is where we really got to see her shine. She got to tell us stories about like this specific animal or this animal's name, or we got to meet this animal, or we got to touch this animal, or they like to eat this or eat that, or this. It was very, very cool. It was just very, very hot. But the reason we didn't get to go the week before is because we went down to Maryland for Father's Day weekend. If you guys didn't know, Baltimore is a go-to for us. We usually go to Baltimore at least a couple times a year. Sometimes it's just a day trip. Sometimes it's an overnight trip. Sometimes it's a couple nights. But we were originally going to go to an Orioles game on Father's Day, and as expected, the hotel prices like skyrocketed because it's Father's Day, and they know people will pay it. And I was not about to pay almost $300 to go stay in a not great hotel that we've stayed in for less than $100. So we decided to go down to Aberdeen, which is still in Maryland. If anybody is a baseball person, Aberdeen is home of the single A team, and it is the Cal Ripken Stadium. My husband is a massive Cal Ripken fan, both personally and professionally, and so we went down. You know, we're talking single A, so tickets were, I think, in the teens. Like, I think we paid like $16 a ticket or something like that, maybe $20. It was very inexpensive, but you still got that same ballpark experience. It was a lot of fun. And then we took the time to go to a restaurant on the water, which was pretty mediocre. But and then we went to a little zoo on our way home. I don't know if I talked about this or not with you guys. I honestly, like I said, I really can't remember. Excuse me, what I've done day to day, let alone like what I've talked about day to day. But we did that. We had a really nice little trip. And then I came back from that trip and I got really, really sick. And it was just like, there's nothing worse than being a parent while being sick, because you have to do both things. Obviously, like when my husband is around, he takes care of everything. And I'm really, really lucky in that sense. I mean, I shouldn't say it like I'm lucky. I feel like if you have two parents in a household and one can't do their parental duties because they're sick, the other one needs to step up, whether they're a stay-at-home parent, a working parent, whatever. You know, not to get like too deep or anything like that, but you know, we chose to have a child. We chose to have this be our life. We didn't choose for me to have a child only. And so I fully expect him as my spouse to help. And he does a great job. And I'm very, very thankful. Let's see. I'm going to grab some colors here to work on this little section. Usually I grab these things out before I keep working, but I didn't, so we're just going to grab a few things, and I'm going to continue to talk while I do that so that I'm not totally lost here, which means I'm going to go, where's that color? What did I do with that? I don't know why I just gave myself a weird voice, especially if I'm talking about myself. You guys, I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. Are you guys well? How are you all doing? Are you enjoying your summer, or are you like me and you're like, summer, what is happening? We also, like, we wanted to go to the pool, and I could not believe how expensive a day pass was for our local pool, so we have not gone to the pool yet. My parents are moving, and they're moving to a place that has a pool, so I'm excited to take her to that pool when we go down to visit. But did I tell you guys about... we're not taking swim lessons this summer anymore? I don't know if I told you guys or not, but a friend of mine, our kids both took lessons from the same person. This would have been the third season that I took lessons with this person, and my friend basically texted me the one day and was like, have you talked to her? And I was like, no, why? And she's like, she's off. She removed her Facebook and like took down her entire social media. And I was like, oh. So I have no way to communicate with her. Apparently she was also like closing her pool for the summer. So, all these things, I feel like when you have kids, whether you're choosing to have kids or like it was a surprise, whatever it is, you have these like notions in your head of this is what it's going to be like, or this is what my kid's going to be like. And I 100% assumed that by the time my kid was this age, that she would know how to ride a bike, know how to go swimming. And it's very frustrating. I grew up with a pool. My kid doesn't have access to a pool unless we take her to a public pool. And we didn't buy the family membership because it's not cost effective for a family of 3. But like the day passes are, you guys, I'm telling you, for the 3 of us to go to our local pool that we are residents of, it would cost, I think it was $50 which is a lot of money, I think, for a public pool. And then there's a brand new pool that was built in the town over that, as non-residents, it would cost us like $15 less. Now, that being said, I've heard that pool is complete chaos. And you know, my kid doesn't know how to swim. So it's very frustrating because I think I'm going to try to squeeze in some lessons this summer at one of the other public pools if I can. I have to figure it out because there's no contact information. It's like, it's crazy. Like, I just want my kid to be, I want her to be able to do, like, water safety. But the other problem is I don't have the capability of doing, like, the ISR, or I think is ISR? The swim rescue, I think that's what it's called. Excuse me, it's like super intensive, but it's every single day, and I can't commit to something every single day because, like, my husband has a work schedule, and she's got other activities, and she's got a couple camps over the summer, and just things are just it's frustrating because I want her to be able to swim, and not because I want her to like compete or anything like that. I just want her to have like water safety. And we don't have any friends that have pools. Like, nobody in our neighborhood has a pool. I mean, we live in a townhouse community, so that makes sense. But still, it's very frustrating when that's what you want to do and you can't. But, so she did the camp. We went to the baseball game. And then we did another one of those JCPenney photo shoots with my kid. If you guys have a JCPenney photo studio near you, and you want your kids to feel magical, look into, they do them, I think ours does it once a month, or they do one specialty one a month, and then like the next month it's a different one, but they have like the fairies, they have the pirates, they have the mermaids. So we did the fairy shoot, and you guys, she loved it so much. I bought the JCPenney photo membership, where I get 2 years of unlimited studio for, I think it was $39.99, as opposed to it's like $15 when you go to get your photos done. And because it's unlimited, like, I don't even need to order any photos. Like, we can go and just take photos if we want. And again, we've only been there a couple times now, but it definitely seems worth it. And she loves, it's amazing to watch how like confident she is and how beautiful she feels taking these photos. But we did those, and then I ordered a couple like small wall hangings. So I don't know, it's funny, I got shipping information for that, but I don't know that I got that it was shipped. So I'm going to have to check on that, because I hope that those aren't just chilling in my mailbox and I didn't know that. Which is possible. Are you guys like that? I don't check my mail regularly. I know I should, but in general, unless I'm expecting something in the mail or they put something on our doorstep, we've got community mailboxes. They just are a pain in the butt, and I don't go there regular. I don't know. But anyway, so what else have we been up to? We had a birthday party, which my kiddo was super excited for. It was at a gym, and she very specifically liked one of the trampolines and would have spent the entire day at said trampoline, and that's it. Like, she would have been fine. And there was 4 trampolines, all together. Like, they're separated, but they like are right next to each other. And she only liked the one trampoline. I later found out, because I asked her, it is bouncier than the other ones because it's made out of a different material. But I remember sitting there talking to one of the other parents, and I can hear her say to the other kid that's on it, when you're done with the white trampoline, can you let me know, so I can have another turn, please? And I was like, oh, that was really good asking. And as soon as the little girl was done, Briar just popped right back on and went back on the white trampoline. And And there was a time where she popped off so somebody could get on and just waited patiently and then got back on. And it was really good. It was really nice to see. A lot of times she interacts with kids and then goes off and does her own thing. Which at a facility like this, it totally works out fine because she can jump on a trampoline and you know, I remember like my husband was saying to me like, well, did she engage with the other kids? And I'm like, yeah, but like it's not like she's not sitting there being like, oh, hey friend, let's go jump on this trampoline together. Like this is how she felt comfortable. And she said her hellos and she talked to a couple people and then she went off and she was totally content. And you know, I don't see anything wrong with that. I feel like that's kind of how I am too. But, and then we had a craft night, which I feel like I have, I don't even know what I brought. Oh, I brought, you guys, I didn't want to, like, pack this up. So I brought my toolkit, not my toolkit, my storage kit. And I kit down, a previous kit that I still had in storage containers. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be able to kit that down and kit up the next one. Anybody else have, like, I don't want to say time blindness because it's not really what it is, but like they're just straight up delusional because your girl legit thought I could kit down one kit and kit up another kit in the short time frame that I had. And I started kitting up the other kit, but like I am nowhere near done. And I was just like, why did I think that I could do this? I mean, I probably have done that before where I thought I could do it and then I was mistaken, but, you know, but it's just been, it was nice. I love doing it. If you guys don't know, I go with Erica from Kevin's Creations, also known as Kevin's wife on, social platforms. And we're like real life friends. We live local to each other. So we go to the local library. It's once a month. They have this craft night. You can bring whatever craft with you. It actually really worked out well because somebody was doing, I think it was cross stitch. It was either cross stitch or embroidery. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't really, truly, fully know the difference. Don't come for me. But she unrolled all of her stuff and realized she didn't have any needle, which then turned into like everybody looking on the floor for this needle. And then her thinking that she left it at home. But anyway, Erica had brought with her some of the new mini kits from Diamond Art Club, the little tassel kits. And it was perfect for the situation that we were in because she offered it to this woman, would you like to do one? Because she now had no other craft with her. And she did, and she really enjoyed it. And it was, like, this is, like, those little mini kits or, like, the paint gem kits, they're perfect for something like this where you can do it with a friend or bring it and share it with somebody else because they're just a lot of fun and they don't take up a lot of time. They obviously don't take up a lot of space. But that was really cool, and it was awesome to see that. But usually Erica and I, we do the craft night together, and then we grab dinner together. And it's like my once a month go do something so that I feel human and socialize with people that I care about. So that was super, super fun and super, super cool. And then we're just, you know, back into the grind. So later this month, my sister will be coming in. I haven't seen my sister and my nephew in a year, so it'll be nice to see them. And then my daughter and I will also be taking our trip this month. I haven't really looked again, but I know that the ticket sales have not been great for the Justin Timberlake concert, and he is coming to town on the 4th of July, and part of me is like, do I want to go? I mean, I would have to take Briar, so, like, that's a big, big decision. But apparently, so Hootie and the Blowfish was just in town, and apparently the ticket sales for that were seriously down as well. And here's the thing. I am not going to say these are the reasons why ticket sales are down or anything like that. But like in general, I've seen like ticket prices are like can be really affordable for certain concerts. And then you go and you do like you do the transaction, and the Ticketmaster fees are like as much as the tickets, if not more. It's crazy. And not everybody has the capability to just drive up to the box office to buy tickets. Which if you didn't know, you can save save those fees by doing it in person. But again, that's not always possible, and it's not always like the most convenient for people. But Hootie and the Blowfish was just in town. It was Hootie and the Blowfish, Collective Soul, and Edwin McCain. And my husband said, like, the day of the concert, the ticket sales were so low that you could buy tickets with fees for like under $10. And I was like, what? Like, I would have paid $10 to go see Hootie and the Blowfish. That would have been cool. But, you know, like, Briar's never been to, like, a real concert. I took her to that Beatles tribute band, which she enjoyed. But that's definitely not the same thing as, like, oh, I took my kid to an outdoor concert in the summer. So, will I do it? Probably not. But am I contemplating it? Indeed I am. So, we'll see. The concert series here coming up is amazing. You have Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson, oddly enough, in the same week. And then you've got like Journey, Def Leppard, Heart. Who else is on that tour? There's like 5 different things is coming. Willie Nelson and like a bunch of groups are coming. Also, like, why are concerts... Listen, there's a difference between an old person concert and a young person concert. Am I saying that every old person concert is only filled with old people? No. Am I saying that every young person concert is filled with only young people? No. But if you are, like, Def Leppard, for example, the chances of you having a bunch of, like, people under 21 at your concert are probably pretty slim to none. The majority of us are older. We're tired. We, can we please have concerts starting earlier in the day? I don't mean, like, I need my concert to start at, like, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But especially if it's one of those shows that has, like, 5, 6 performers, even if they're only performing, like, a couple songs, I don't want to be there till, all hours of the night. Do I want to still stay up at home? Yes. Do I want to be surrounded by a ton of people at, like, midnight? No. Like, I want to be in my home, in my pajamas at midnight, watching TV from my own couch. You know what I mean? But, yeah. And then Pink is coming. The end of the tour season. I'm just, I'm excited. We could hear a little bit of Hootie and the Blowfish as we were driving up. But my kid's got her skating competition coming up. And she's been working really hard. And, like, the one skating director actually paid a compliment, which, like, it'd be nice if they would pay the compliments directly to us, but they paid it to our coach, who relayed it to us and said they were proud that she did a good job the other day. When you guys are seeing this, she'll have gone skating the night before. So I'm recording this on Monday, so she has skating tonight, so I'm excited to see that. But yeah, it's funny because there's another little one that skates with her, and she's good. She's a very good skater. I don't personally, I'm not going to say anything mean about somebody else's kid, but she's one of those kids that, like, she likes the older kids, and she thinks she's, like, really cute and, like, hangs on them and all that stuff. And, Briar is one of those kids that the older kids think is cute. I mean, she is cute, but I'm biased. But she doesn't, like, go up to them and, like, hang on them. She just kind of, like, skates with them and talks to them and, like, doesn't leave them alone. But I have noticed, like, some of these older kids now, like, don't seem to love the other little kid, like, literally hanging on them. So, we'll see how that goes tonight. But I'm excited. It'll be her first competition. That's next month. We have skate camp next month. It just feels like summer is both slowly moving and also, like, holy crap, how are we already in July? Like, I don't know. But I am excited. You guys will see. This will probably go up and then probably immediately followed by a PR unboxing and or my DP Holiday in July unboxing. Obviously, I'm not in a super rush to do my DP Holiday in July kit, but if anybody would like to, you know, pick it up for themselves, it's a good, I should have already posted it, to be honest with you. But I guess I'm just here to say, like, I'm happy I'm here right now, and I make absolutely no promises about being any bit consistent between now and when my kid goes back to school, or like she's got one camp this summer that is a full day camp that I will be able to be more consistent. I'm trying to do my best, but I've said it before. I've said it to other creators or small shop businesses. At the end of the day, family comes first, always. And if that means having to put myself on the back burner, I do it. If that means having to put my hobbies on the back burner, sadly, I do it. You know, I know my kid would love if mommy could still be diamond painting, but I just don't feel like I have enough hours. And also, like, total tangent here, I hate the saying, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, more than anything, because that's not true. That's not true. Yes, we all have the same minutes and hours in the day, but we don't all have the same circumstances. We don't all have the same interactions. We don't have the same, like, reasonings. So, yeah, because I think the whole point that people try to say that is that, like, you can't make an excuse to not work out. You can get up earlier in the day. Here's the thing, though. Not everybody has somebody at the house to watch their children while they get up and go to the gym early in the day, for example. Not everybody can afford to put a home gym in their house so they can do it while their kids are sleeping, for example. Not everybody has to worry about taking their kids to multiple activities, doctor's appointments, school, events, different things like that. And so I don't feel like, you know, like when I was a younger woman and I had very little responsibility, like I could get anything done that I needed to get done. And if I didn't, it was completely because of myself. Now I can have all the best intentions of in the world of getting X, Y, and Z done in a day. But if my kid's having a hard day, for example, like things are just really too much for her. She's overwhelmed. She's overtired. She's just hit her limits. I don't have the capability to just keep dragging her from one place to the next to the next. And I don't have, like, if my husband's at work, you know, I can't just be like, okay, you watch the kid while I go take care of this. And sometimes that means having to change around what your priorities are. And that takes time. So that was just a tangent. Listen, it does bother me because it's not always true. And honestly, like, I don't prioritize my time well in general, but sleep will always be a priority for me. So if my option is to have even less hours in the day to be rested, I'm not choosing that because I already sleep like garbage and don't sleep very many hours. And, you know, that's probably one of the reasons why I struggle to function. I just realized I have to call the chiropractor. I have a chiropractor appointment scheduled later this month, but it's the same one of the days that I'm on my trip. So I just want to shift it either a couple days earlier or a couple days later. But yeah. So this week, in terms of like what we're doing as a family, we are going to our one local movie theater does, they call it like their camp. It's not camp, obviously. I shouldn't say obviously. But it is, how am I on time? Oh, it is older movies, and they are shown for a couple dollars, and they do them, I think it's Tuesday mornings. And so, again, you guys will be seeing this tomorrow morning, or it'll be up tomorrow morning, but I'm going to take her to see The Little Rascals. She's never seen it. You know, the movie's 30 years old, which makes me feel very old to think about that. But it's exciting to do something, and it cost me $2 a ticket. So we've got that going on. My husband does have a day off this week, so we might actually go back to the movies to see Inside Out 2. If you guys have seen it, let me know your thoughts on it. I have just heard that it is wrecking parents in the best way possible, the way a good Pixar film does. And I'm excited to see that with her. And then we have skating, depending on the weather, perhaps go to the pool. Like to get her back out on her roller skates this week. Obviously, I need to finish getting stuff for my trip. If you guys follow me on Instagram, it's pretty obvious that I'm going on a trip because I've been asking things in my story quite regularly. So for anybody who watched, I don't know how many videos ago it was, and I was talking about going on a trip with my kiddo, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go. That has been decided. I just have to get everything situated, which it's a lot. I live near one of the small airports. They're so expensive to fly in and out of. I don't even know what the point of those are. Unless you fly on one of those budget airlines, like a Spirit, Allegiant, one of those kinds of things. I can't do that with a small child. I need to be able to assure that we're going to be sitting together, and that I'm not paying for every single little thing that ever existed, which I know is completely plausible. But, how are we on time? I got a few minutes here. I know I just said that a minute ago, but, it's crazy to think. My husband's still at work, and when he gets home from work, he has to change, and then we have to skedaddle in the car, and take her to the rink. These days where she skates, around dinner time are always the hardest ones for me, because if she doesn't necessarily want to eat a full meal before she goes to the rink sometimes, but sometimes she does, so I can't really plan out a crock pot meal as well as I used to be able to. But a lot of times, I know it's not the best option, but a lot of times she ends up at McDonald's on these later. But I don't eat McDonald's, so that's not always my favorite. So, yeah. But have you guys done anything fun and exciting this summer yet? Or do you have any big plans for the summer? I would love to hear what you guys are up to. I just can't fathom that it's already July. Does anybody else feel like that? It's both creeping along and also just flying right on through? Because I am shook. But I think that's a good place for me to end. Thanks for hanging in there. For everybody who is stuck around waiting for content, I appreciate you. I appreciate you all. I hope that you guys know that by now. I know every time I say, I'm hoping to get into a better schedule, a better routine, better this, better that, and be able to do all the things for you guys. But life is just so unpredictable, and I'm doing the absolute best that I can. And right now, that looks like uploading, twice a month. I don't know. I definitely have content for you guys this week, so I'm excited about that. But, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you made it all the way to the end, leave me some summertime emoji. So that I know you made it all the way to the end. And again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I do appreciate it. I hope you guys know that. I know I said I wasn't really going to be talking a whole lot about what I did, but I guess I did. So, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you like this video and you'd like to see more videos like this, or, nothing like this at all, please make sure to give this video 2 thumbs up. 1 real life, 1 virtual. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Come. Join the Sparkle Squad. While you're there, hit that notification bell. I do not operate on any sort of schedule. I operate on toddler standard time, and I record when my tiny human is sleeping or sleeping. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys!